Welcome back. We're continuing to monitor a broad area of low pressure in the northern Gulf, mainly for isolated heavy rain and localized flooding beginning tomorrow into Friday. But if you look at on satellite and radar, it's a hot mess. You can see that there's a very lopsided, a lot of thunderstorm activity into the Gulf. But if you look at where the center of circulation is on visible satellite, you can make it out. It's actually over land just north of Panama City. So this is a very lopsided and disorganized system, which brings us to the question of who is going to see the heaviest amount of rainfall. Well, the latest computer models are still taking it towards the Louisiana coastline, but notice the spread in the computer models. We could see it dipping down towards the south and towards offshore, or taking it more towards the north. That's also going to determine who gets the heaviest rainfall. If it goes down towards the south, most of it should stay off towards the coast and offshore, but if it takes a more northern turn here, maybe we see heaviest rain further inland, and then it will take that turn up towards the north. So there's still question marks on who's going to see the heaviest rain and that localized flooding threat. So I want to show you one of the scenarios here on the forecast model. We're going to start to see that plume of moisture making its way later this afternoon, so we could start to see some scattered showers and storms through the late afternoon and early evening. Because this is tropical moisture, we could start to see some heavy rain with some of these storms through the late afternoon and early evening. Once we go into Wednesday, notice how a lot of the heaviest of rain is staying offshore. Certainly by the afternoon on Thursday, we could see periods of heavy rain making its way further inland. But again, a lot of the heaviest rainfall is centered down towards the coast and off towards the south and west going into Thursday and Friday. So still, where there is a potential of seeing heavy rain and localized flooding. But this is through the next 3 days. The Weather Prediction Center is showing on average 2 to 3 inches kind of near and north of Baton Rouge, a bit further south 3 to 4 inches. And then notice the bullseye is offshore and along the coast, New Iberia, Lafayette, on average 4 to 5 inches. So it's still a lot of rainfall, but it looks like it's going to be manageable for most. The Weather Prediction Center is still showing a 2 out of 4 slight risk of flood threat just kind of near and south of the interstates, north of the interstate corridor, that 1 out of 4 marginal risk. But look at this. This is Friday through Saturday. That 3 out of 4 moderate risk of seeing that flood risk is off towards the south and west. So that's agreeing with that forecast model that I showed you earlier with the heaviest of rains off towards the west and towards the south. So for Acadiana, that flood watch will go into effect Thursday at 7 a.m. For us here, because we could see those heavier periods of rain with the storms that we could see later this afternoon and evening, that goes into effect shortly at 1 p.m. this afternoon, and both will remain through Saturday morning. The next question is, well, what about the winds? You're saying this is a tropical system of some sort. Well, it's not going to be a big concern. Here's a forecast model showing through Thursday afternoon. The model is showing 20 miles an hour, maybe getting near 30 along the coast, continuing that into Friday morning. Not seeing much difference in the numbers. Forecast 15, 20 miles an hour, maybe seeing some 30s along the coast. So wind is not really much of a threat. So here's what you need to know. We showed you the wind, not much of a concern. Average rain amounts from 2 to 5 across the area. Certainly could see locally heavier amounts. And the good news is river flood threat looks to be low. All right, outside right now on our Sky 9 camera, this is on top of LaBerge, looking over the Mississippi River, just seeing those big puffy clouds and sunshine out there this afternoon. It's warm in the upper 80s from Baton Rouge, low 90s in Hammond, sitting at 92. Not feeling like that. We're feeling like the triple digits, 102 in Baton Rouge, 105 in Hammond, and look at New Orleans and Bogalusa, already up to 107. So because of that, the National Weather Service does have us underneath a heat advisory for the afternoon, as we could see those heat index values continuing to climb near 107, 108 as our actual temperatures climb to the low to mid 90s, 106 forecasted there, and then watching for those scattered showers and storms mainly through the late afternoon and early evening. Now we are giving you the first alert for that heavy rain potential Thursday and Friday. Again, this looks to be very isolated throughout both days, but certainly could see some heavy rain and localized flooding. Beyond that, it looks like we just returned to our typical summertime pattern of scattered showers and storms daily, and highs continuing to stay warm in the low to mid 90s. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with more 9 News at noon.